What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. FantasyTeamAdvisors.com bringing home the bacon MLB DFS video for this small, technically 6-game slate for Thursday, but 5 games we can play, and then we've got the Cleveland-Houston game like 6 hours after everything else. So not a huge slate to go over, but we are going to bring you as much as we possibly can. If you've never been here before, hopefully you're in for a treat. We break it down. We're going to go through all the games here. We're going to look at the pitching. We're going to look at the bats in there. We're going to look how they've done in the past, everything and in between to hopefully make you a better DFS player. If this is the only thing you need and you don't need anything else, that's awesome. If you need a little bit more help, either from us or from the Discord, in the description of this video is today's article, which I will go through everything and a few plays at each position, and then the Discord link down there. So we give out core plays, we give out prop bets, we give out a lot of things. So 2 nights ago, I forgot to mention in yesterday's video, we went 7-0 in MLB bets and we went 4-0 in NBA bets. So we went 11-0 on the day. So that is part of FTA Plus. So if you go to FantasyTeamAdvisors.com, you can sign up for FTA Plus and you can get, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create the weekly pass. It's not activated yet. We're going to do a weekly pass, includes DFS and sports betting. We've got a monthly pass, a yearly pass, and a lifetime pass as well. So we have giveaways every single video. The first way, like the video, be a subscriber. That is number 1. And leave a comment. The video gets at least 50 likes. Someone will win a free week of FTA Plus. 100 likes is a free month. 150 likes is a free year. 200 or more likes, a lifetime pass worth $500. Second way to do that, like the video, be a subscriber, leave a comment of who you think is going to hit a home run and what inning are they going to hit it in. Now, this will count as your comment, so you get 1 shot per day per person. You could win both. So let's say you get that home run pick, take a screenshot of your comment on this video and send it to me, dfshelp1@gmail.com, and we will get you set up. On top of that, you can win every single day until you win a lifetime pass. So what we're going to do is we're going to draw for the winner of yesterday. So everyone who leaves a comment goes into the YouTube random comment picker. We start the raffle, and that is the winner. And we've had multiple winners, and they've come back every single day. So Josh, Discord link doesn't work for me. I have updated that since then. It seems like I think the Discord link is like after a week it expires or something like that. It's in the description. If it still doesn't work, email me, dfshelp1@gmail.com, and I will send an updated link. For whatever reason, I don't know why it wouldn't work. But Josh, if you see this, like the video, then what I want you to do, email me with a username and email that you would like on the website, and we will get you set up. What does an FTA Plus pass give you? It gives you every sport that's offered. So with MLB, it's projections, simulations, Vegas odds, everything you see here. In the background of this video, I am running 10,000 simulations. At the end of the video, I'm going to give you the top 20 bats after 10,000 simulations. With that, we are going to give you, towards when the main slate locks, we update it to 20,000 simulations. For today, the main slate actually locks at 11:10 a.m. Eastern, or Central, 12 Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific. It's a very early day for baseball. So we are going to bring you that information. Hopefully we help you bring home the bacon as well. So my other question is, before we get started, is there anyone that's still playing NBA DFS? Because yesterday we had 2 games. Then today, there are 2 games. Then Friday, possibly 2 games. Depending on if one's needed. And then Saturday, there's possibly 1 game. Sunday are only games that are if necessary. And then Monday is 1 game. Tuesday seems like it's also 1 game as well. So this might be the last day for NBA DFS just because I don't know how many of you are actually still playing. If you are still playing, let me know. But again, we're not going to do just all this information for showdown games and only 1 game. So if you are playing, let me know. If you are not, also let me know. So that being said, we are going to look at everything on this slate. If you have questions, get those down below. We are trying to make you a better DFS player. So first game on the slate, a very early game, Pete Lambert versus Edward Cabrera, Lambert, 15 plate appearances, 214 batting average. Cabrera, 27 plate appearances, 120 batting average. Hasn't really seen much. They haven't really seen much of each other. Colorado obviously would not be the pick I'd go. I would lean towards Cabrera and Marlins bats here. But we can look at this. Cabrera is the most expensive pitcher on this small. This is a terrible slate. This would be a slate that I'd only play a couple, maybe one lineup. I might not even play today. I don't know yet. I'm still going to give you guys information. Problem is, Cabrera comes in with a 5.28 ERA. That is coming from a terrible outing against Washington. 4.1 innings, 5 earned runs, 4 Ks, 4.2 fantasy points. Prior to that, he had a really good start against San Francisco and then a pretty good start against Chicago Cubs. Now he has a plus matchup against Colorado bats, which just makes sense to me overall. So if we look at this, I would not be using, and then we could look at Pete Lambert. He's down here at 5,800. Not a good start. I mean, he 4.67 ERA, only 15 strikeouts in, and he it's just like an opener. Yeah, I mean, you're not going to use him. It's going to be an opener. It's going to be a bullpen day. I am all in on Miami bats, 100%. What I would look at would be Sanchez, Josh Bell, Jazz, Brian De La Cruz as my top options. If you want to deviate from those because you still want to stack Marlins, but you want to differentiate yourself, especially on a slate like what we have now, Otto Lopez, Dane Myers, Brujan. Luis Arraez is crazy. He's not bringing a ton to the table, but I'd still look at him. Maybe a little Nick Gordon. Again, we have to wait to see the lineup that comes out. And I have no interest in Colorado unless Ryan McMahon. That's probably it. I mean, that's the only one. Jordan Beck could be another one. Be a cheap option. Beck's probably 2,000, 2,700. So if you're not going with Cabrera because he's probably going to be the highest priced pitcher, I understand. Jordan Beck and Ryan McMahon would probably be the ones that I would look at. Next game, the Yankees at Orioles. Carlos Rodon versus to be announced. According to DraftKings, they think it's going to be, as of now, they think Kyle Bradish is going to come off the IL and start. But I do know that John Means was activated Wednesday because Grayson Rodriguez, who pitched Tuesday, went on the IL. Now, if he's following, so what I read was if Means is following his scheduled days off and rest and stuff, he won't be pitching this game. So it could be Bradish. It might not be Bradish. So this is one we don't know yet. Depending on when you watch this video, it may have already been updated. And if it is, it could be in, we'll update it if we need to. So just kind of looking at this, Rodon, he's had success. We know Baltimore's been really good, but Rodon has been everything the Yankees needed this year so far. And he's 7,900 on this slate. Comes in 29.7 against Milwaukee, 6 innings there, 8 Ks. Oakland, 7 innings, but only 4 Ks, 20.8. Bad game against Toronto, bad game against Arizona, but he had a good game against Miami there. So Baltimore's a really good team. The Yankees need this win. They are a really good team. Rodon comes in with a 1.93 ERA, 30 strikeouts. He is due for a bad game, and this could be it, but his price is just too enticing for me. And I don't know if it's going to be Bradish. So we could look if it will be Bradish. He comes in, has not pitched this year. Struck out 6 and 1 over 5 innings, 77 pitches. So, yeah. That's what we kind of look like. I would not be surprised if it is here. With Bradish, though, 8,400. He has not pitched in the majors this year. That is kind of what we're looking at. Yankees are a good team when they're on. They just haven't been on this series, really, overall. But if we're looking at bats, obviously, if we don't trust Bradish and we're looking at Yankees bats, he's the team. He's been the captain this year. The official captain, Judge, would be one I'd look at. Stanton, again, is back to looking lost. He's swinging at pitches that are literally 18 feet out of the strike zone. Volpe would be one. If Austin Wells is in there, I like Wells. If Trevino is in there, I like him. Just depends on what catcher is going to be in there. Rizzo's been looking good lately. I would use him. If Verdugo is back from paternity, I would be looking at him. Let's see if... Yeah, he probably, again, I think it's usually like 3 days for paternity. I don't know, though. So that's definitely something to look at. So if Verdugo is back, he's been heating up as well. So that is another bat that I would be using in this lineup there. So hopefully he's back because Trent Grisham looks terrible overall. If you think Rodon is going to get lit up, Gunnar Henderson's been on fire. Jordan Westberg, Ryan Mountcastle, Adley Rutschman. Those would be ones. Santander, he has cold a little bit here at Baseball Savant, but he's a switch hitter. If he hits well, he could hit well against lefties. Overall, Colton Cowser. I mean, there's a lot to like. As you see, Baltimore overall, they're hitting a lot of red, which means all of these are great options. So I think a lot of people are going to be on Carlos Rodon. I think pivot could be the Baltimore Orioles as a stack against him, but he's just looked really good this season. He's looked like his self from San Francisco a couple seasons back. So I will have exposure to Rodon. I will not have exposure to whichever pitcher Baltimore puts out there, but if I were to make multiple lineups, I could see a stack of Baltimore to pivot off of if you don't want to go with Rodon. Next game, Cubs at the Mets. It is a pitcher's park. It's Ben Brown versus Adrian Hauser. We see that when Ben Brown has been pitching, it's been basically bullpen days. April 15th, he went 6 innings. Other than that, he's got 4.2 here. It's been lower since then. 2 there, 1 there, 3.2 there against Boston. Gave up only 3 earned runs, but they ended up, that's the game they lost 17-0. He is not an option for you. He doesn't go deep into games. 2 innings, maybe 3 innings max, 4 ERA. Not what I want to see. Then the Mets, Adrian Hauser. Only because he's 5,600, he's a viable option. But again, he comes in with a 8.37 ERA. Negative fantasy points for St. Louis, negative fantasy points for the Dodgers, negative fantasy points against Atlanta, okay against Detroit, okay against Pittsburgh. Because of his price, I could see you throwing him in there, but I don't trust him. I'd rather take the bats on both sides in this game. So just kind of looking at these, Michael Busch, Chris Morel, Amaya if he's in there for catching, Dansby. Mike Tauchman could be a sneaky option for you. P. Crow Armstrong would be one. Patrick Wisdom I'd look at. But again, if you think it's going to be a bullpen day, which I do, I don't think Ben Brown's going to go deep into this game. Brandon Nimmo's been on fire. Starling Marte. JD Martinez might be in here. He's a cheaper option. DJ Stewart's there. Pete Alonso, Lindor, I don't mind them. A little bit cheaper, Tyrone Taylor could be a Mets bat if you're looking for a Mets stack. I don't know if you will be, but again, with 5 games, you got to get creative here. The Mets might be an under-owned stack. I think Yankees are going to be a big stack. Baltimore's going to be a big stack. Miami's going to be a big stack. Texas will be a big stack. Pivot to the Mets or Chicago Cubs too. Might save a little bit of dough, and you might be under the radar. Giants at the Red Sox. Kyle Harrison versus Josh Winkowski. Haven't seen much of each other at all. We look at this. Kyle Harrison comes into this game with a 4 ERA, 31 strikeouts, which isn't bad in 6 starts, or 7. 6. This will be his 7th. Outside of Arizona, he's going about 6 innings a game. Strikeouts are kind of there. They have been there. Again, he's coming off a good start against Pittsburgh. That was at home. Now this is on the road. If you look at splits, again, it's a little bit. 3 on the road, 3 at home. Away games, he's got a 4.77 ERA. It is Boston. So you could be looking at that as a factor. Once we get, like halfway into the season, you'll see how pitchers go home or away, and that's kind of a little indicative of where we could go with that one. Winchkowski here, 3.50 ERA. The problem is he's not going deep into games. You're not trusting that. So I'd rather look at the bats. He's got a 19 Ks in that. That's where I'm focusing on the bats here as well. So I don't know if I trust Harrison enough, so I might look at bats on both sides. Being at home, Tyler O'Neill smashing, would look at him. Wilyer Abreu would be another one. Yoshida doesn't seem to be in games a lot, and he's been hurt, so I'm probably off of him. Emmanuel Valdez is batting isn't 190 or so, 151, even worse. So Valdez is not batting well. That's a bat that I don't want. So if I'm looking at O'Neill, Wilyer Abreu. I guess a little bit of Devers. Rob Refsnyder against a lefty at home, I don't mind. Jarren Duran would be another one. Flip side of that, Giants bats. Patrick Bailey. Love me some Patrick Bailey, one of the hottest hitting catchers, young catchers right now, along with William Contreras. Matt Chapman I'd look at. Jung Ho Lee. Conforto. Lamont Wade Jr. Maybe a little bit of Mike Yastrzemski. I don't know, though. That's kind of where I'd probably hold the line. So, again, I don't want either of these pitchers. I'd rather take the bats. Then we get into the final game on this main slate. You got Mitchell Parker versus Nate Eovaldi. Eovaldi's faced him 21 plate appearances, so not much. 238 batting average, 333, or 33.3 K percentage there. So we look at this. Mitchell Parker is the third highest priced pitcher on the slate. Actually has been doing really well. Faced LA and Houston. Houston was his best game. 7 innings, 8 Ks, 34 fantasy points. The Dodgers, he held them to 2 earned runs. He held Miami to 1 earned run. He is 8,700 on this slate. 169 ERA, 14 Ks in 3 starts. Not a very good outing his last start against Miami. 4 innings there, 1 earned run. Got up to 82 pitches. So, I mean, he's getting up, you're looking right around 80 to 85 pitches probably. And against a Texas team that can hit, I think people will be on Texas. Parker for tournaments, anything goes on a day like this with 5 games. Parker's not a bad option. I'll have exposure to both sides, though. Then we can look at Eovaldi. 9,100, coming off a good start against Cincy, a couple of bad starts against Atlanta and Houston, really good start against Oakland, fantastic start against Tampa Bay. Comes in, 3 ERA, 36 strikeouts. Nasty Nate, is he back? He might be. 8 Ks there, and he's got a fantastic matchup here. Obviously, 5 games, probably only playing tournaments. I love Eovaldi. Mitchell Parker is tournament only. I think Eovaldi is both. You could go both sides there. Then the bats in this one. Oh, sorry. I was there. I was already there on the game. If I'm not using Mitchell Parker, Adolis Garcia against a lefty I love. Jonah Heim is a switch hitter I love. Marcus Semien hits lefties well. Corey Seager doesn't matter. Lefty-righty matchup, he hits them well as well. You could look at Wyatt Langford. Hasn't really, kind of struggled a little bit. Andrew Kisner, if he's starting at catcher, he hits lefties well. Evan Carter could be another one. So there's a lot to like about this Texas team. Probably not looking at Washington bats at all. I would look at Texas. I would look at Eovaldi. Mitchell Parker for tournaments is the only way I would go. Then your last game is Guardians at the Astros. You can't play this. If you're playing I would not play the all-day slate if FanDuel has one. I haven't looked into it. Logan Allen versus Mr. Spaghetti here. Probably not going to touch this one. I probably wouldn't touch this one. If I were, it'd probably be Cleveland bats because of how bad the Astros have been this year. So there you go. There's the breakdown of the pitchers and the bats. If you want to see a little bit more into it, click the link down below. That should help you out. Now, we are going over the top 20 bats after 10,000 simulations for this main slate right here. Now, these probably will change by the time you watch this, so be careful. But number 1, CJ, and it's a weird one because this slate's not very good, so take this with a grain of salt today. Okay? We've got number 1, Wilmer Flores versus Josh Winkowski. Number 2, Mike Tauchman. 3, Ian Happ. 4, CJ Abrams. 5, Stephen Kwan. 6, Michael Busch. 7, Alex Call. 8, Brandon Nimmo. 9, Jeff McNeil. 10, Pete Alonso. 11, Jesse Winker. 12, Brian De La Cruz. 13, Rafael Devers. 14, Marcus Semien. 15, we got Ryan McMahon. 16, DJ Stewart. 17, Chris Morrell. 18, Nico Horner. 19, Nick Gordon. And number 20 is Corey Seager right now. So, also, looking at some of the stacks that we like. Cubs against Hauser. I don't mind the Cubs against Hauser. Number 2 is probably Texas against Mitchell Parker. 3, honestly, could be probably Miami. 4 is in between the Yankees and Baltimore. Just depends on who Baltimore is pitching out there. Probably avoiding Washington bats. Probably avoiding Colorado bats for sure. it's a weird slate. I don't know if you guys are going to play much. If you are, let us know. But we will be back for everything that has to do with this weekend. Every week, if the sport is in, we'll see about NBA. We've got PGA. Depending on when you watch this video, you can check out our PGA content. MLB, NASCAR on the weekend as well. So we're thinking about dabbling back into MMA. If that's something you guys are interested in, let me know down below just to know. But yeah, that's what I've got. If you have any questions down below, hit us up on Twitter @advisors_team. You can hit me up in the Discord. The link will be updated in the description. Hopefully it works. If it doesn't, email me and let me know, but it should work. So that's what I've got. Good luck today. And as always, let's bring home some bacon. Peace!